And welcome back to the studio. Job done for Manchester United. Gordon McQueen with me here in the studio. Lou McCarry will be joining us very shortly as well. But Gordon, as I say, job done for United tonight.
It was a good result. I mean, they're one of the worst teams I've ever seen in the Champions League here at Old Trafford. I mean, I thought we used to win by 5 or 6, and if it wasn't for a great Romero save in the second half, it may have been 2-2, which would have been an absolute travesty. I thought we used to win by 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, great to top the group. We spoke about it earlier. You can still get a tricky draw. Everybody's tricky. Of course,
you can get a tricky draw, but I think as Paddy and Stuart said in a commentary right at the end, Paddy says that's what you're in the Champions League for, and Stuart was saying, well, I'd rather get them later on. You would rather get them later on, semi-finals or finals. Your Bayern Munich or Real Madrid. You may get them earlier, mid-February or whatever we get in the knockout stage. We'll just need to wait and see. But we're there, that's the main thing. Yeah. And we're there in style.
It's just great to be back at this stage of the competition, because it's been a few years.
Considering where we've been for a few years under different managers.
Yeah. Do you get the feeling that there's a little bit of momentum at United just now, because there were 6 changes made?
Well, yes. I think because you had Pogba and Lukaku, Pogba played very disappointing tonight. Lukaku is probably the worst United player, and Lukaku was probably the second worst. Rashford was the best attacking player on the pitch tonight, and I think that showed, and I think they maybe had Sunday on their mind, Pogba and Lukaku. We'll put it down to that anyway.
How hard is it, Gordon, to try and focus?
Oh, very, very difficult. You know,
the
section's won and you've got a massive game at the weekend. I think Ben Thornley said in the radio commentary, it's a must-win game. Yeah. That is a must-win game against me. I must not get beat, continue that record. I've got 40 games undefeated at Old Trafford.
That is quite incredible.
Terrific.
They'll be determined to beat it though, won't they?
Oh, they will, aye. And well, they're good enough to beat it as well, but we'll just need... The big players will need to play well, and the big players need to play well in the big games, i.e. that's your Pogba's and your Lukaku's. Obviously Pogba's not playing, but Lukaku is. Yeah. He scored a goal tonight, he might be a bit more confident.
The interesting thing was the manager said before tonight's game he was taking it one game at a time. He wasn't thinking about the derby, but as soon as United went in the lead there tonight, Herrera, Valencia, Lukaku also.
I wonder who's playing at the weekend.
Might give us a little
Valencia
clue.
And Lukaku are definitely playing Herrera. Well, we'll wait and see, but it looks like there might be a problem. We don't know whether there's a problem with Matic or Fellaini or whatever. We really don't know yet.
Yeah.
We're not quite sure anyway, and obviously there's a problem with Pogba. He's suspended, so we'll need to wait and see that one.
Yeah, it's another good point, or a great point for tonight, was the performance of Luke Shaw. He impressed tonight, didn't he?
Luke was terrific tonight. I thought down that side was their best player, the number 2. I can't remember his name. The wing back for CSKA Moskva was probably their best player. So look at his hands full dealing, him and Daley Blind dealing with that, and also getting forward, which he did, and he got a couple of smashing shots in the second half, a couple of real good tackles as well, so he played real well, Luke Shaw.
Yeah, no, he certainly did. We've got an email here actually from Jack in Swinton, who says a message to Jose: let's hear no more talk of Luke being in the shop window. He was as good as anyone tonight, if not man of the match. He must be the fastest player at the club. At his age, he is the future. To play the way he did after all this time out was unbelievable. Was it? Yeah, he only played, I think, a couple of substitute appearances.
Yeah, well, he got cramp at the end, which is understandable when he's hardly played any football, and he went down with cramp at the end. He'd be praying that when the board went up, and it went up 3 times, remember that he was his number was one of the ones that got up on the board to go off, because I think he was real tired. Yeah. With the shift he put in tonight, it's understandable.
It just gives the manager another option though, doesn't it?
Well, it does, of course it does. I mean, but Ashley Young's been playing great in that position. You cannot drop Ashley Young just now. And I know, look, that's food for thought tonight for the manager. And the call for Swinton was right. Forget transfer talk. Luke Shaw has a future at Manchester United.
Yeah, no, great to see him back tonight. We'll take a look at how things stand in the table, just to confirm exactly what happened this evening in terms of Group A. There we are, Manchester United top of the group, 15 points. Basel getting second spot with 12 points. CSKA, our opponents tonight, on 9, and Benfica, well, I think they, to be honest, Gordon, were the surprise of the group. I think we all expected them to be
Benfica, as we touched on earlier, normally massive stadium and like, you don't normally go and get results there, but Basel went and got a result there, and of course they got a result against us, so they're a decent side, Basel. CSKA Moscow getting the Europa League spot, and Benfica getting absolutely nothing out of this group at all, which is a shock for everybody concerned.
Yeah, just how much of an advantage do you think it is playing that second game at home here at Old Trafford, especially given our record?
Managers like to play the second game, so they know what to do, and they know what they've got to do at home, especially at home. Me, I'm not really over-fussed about where he played the second game. I know a lot of managers and a lot of players like it to be at home. I'm certainly not bothered.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting just to see how that draw goes on Monday, because there are a few teams pretty good that have finished second as well.
Big names in Champions League football, Champions League history. Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juventus, Bayern Munich, Paris Saint-Germain now, of course, as well, are in the picture. So it's going to be fun, really exciting times.
No, it certainly is. I'm sure we'll all be glued to that on Monday to find out who exactly we get in that. Lou McCarry will be joining us in a moment, but first of all, let's hear the thoughts of Stuart and Paddy.
United ease through to the last 16 of the Champions League. They win Group A, had to do it the hard way by coming from behind, scoring 2 quick-fire goals in the second half. A controversial goal right at the end of that first half for CSKA. It was Vitinho's shot deflected in by Zagoyev, who was in a seemingly offside position, but apparently Blint was off the field but still active because he was involved in the move. So you live and learn. That's why the goal was given. United, they roared back in the second half, 2 goals in just over a minute. Pogba's delicious cross turned in well by Lukaku, and then Mata and Rashford combining, Rashford finding the finish. 2-1, and United equal the club record. 40 Old Trafford games unbeaten.
Well, let's hope it's 41 on Saturday. Yeah. But you've got to look at it from the point of view, Stuart. United are through. The first half they were casual United. I don't think the manager would be too pleased with the first half performance. Changed it all in the second half, United. They came out and looked a different team. Got at them. Got the 2 goals, which they deservedly so. The better side in the second half deserved to go in and win it.
I think it was, even though the game wasn't the most important for United, I think it's so important to go into the derby. You wouldn't want to be going into it with a defeat, would you?
Well, you wouldn't like to face the manager if you got a defeat. No, so you're out there. How many players out there in the United strips tonight want to play on Saturday? All of them.
Yeah.
So they had to perform, and particularly they did in the second half. So things look good, so let's hope things work out for us on Saturday.
Luke Shaw as well, first time.
I thought he was tremendous. Wasn't he tremendous? Could he play Saturday? Well, I think he's got a great chance, but then you look at Ashley Young, who's been magnificent. I think he's got a chance, Luke Shaw. He was terrific tonight.
And your team no longer holds the record for 40 games unbeaten at Old Trafford. Unlucky.
I didn't even know our team was involved in all that sort of stuff. You look up your records, and obviously you do better than me looking them up. But it's great. Long may it continue. You always want to make your home ground a stronghold where people are afraid to come and play. And I hope that gets plenty of publicity in the papers over the next couple of days, that United have this great record at Old Trafford, and the City players will be looking at it.
United then in the draw as group winners. We'll be back in the Champions League in the spring.
Thanks very much to Stuart and Paddy. Lou has joined us as promised, and Lou, we had a bit of a scare early on, but it was never really in doubt, was it?
Not really. But it was always going to be awkward, Mandy. The fact that, well, you had to lose 7-0 for things to go terribly wrong, and that was never going to happen. So sitting in that dressing room as a player, got to get rid of these 90 minutes over and done with, and then look ahead to Sunday, which obviously is more important. And I thought that showed in the first half performance. A bit sluggish at times, missed a few chances as though it didn't really matter. And of course, had they even conceded another couple of goals, that wouldn't have mattered either. So it was always going to be a tough night for the players to really get into it. That's over and done with now. The group's won, and we look forward to Man City now.
Yeah, we'll take some of your emails in a moment if you want to get your calls into us. Lou and Gordon here ready, waiting to take them. One of the highlights I was speaking to Gordon about, and Paddy's just mentioned there as well, was Luke Shaw and his performance tonight. Great, considering we've not seen much of him this season.
Well, I was glad he was selected to start with. That was the first thing, because any player who's on the bench week in, week out will get dejected a little bit, to say the least. And this was a chance from him. It's crazy to say a chance from Mandy, because he's come here as probably the best young player in England at the time. Everyone wanted him. He was in Southampton's first team, I think, at 18, may even been a little bit earlier. And he showed the class of a real up-and-coming young player. But of course, that didn't follow on like that. He got injured. He's now over that injury. He's bounced back. He's now got to realise that he's maybe got to sacrifice one or two things to get himself established in this team where there's plenty of competition. There's a lot of competition in all the places, and if you're not spot on in your fitness, your attitude, or whatever, the manager's not going to pick you. When the big games come around, I think unless Luke realises that, he's going to be back on the bench, but he's good enough to be on that team, as he's proved tonight, fully focused, concentrating on his football. He can get in that team week in, week out.
The problem at the moment for him is Gordon Ashley Young.
When you look at Ashley Young at Watford a couple of weeks ago, he was absolutely fantastic. 2 great goals and a great performance, and his performances by and large over the season have been very, very good. I never really thought before, a right winger at right back for Man United and a left winger at left back. That's just isn't Man United's way. And everybody was rubbing their hands when we signed Luke Shaw, England's young up-and-coming full-back. And I was delighted when we signed him as well, because I thought he was a terrific player, and I think he showed tonight that he is, and it'd be nice for him to maybe put pressure on Ashley Young and try and get back in the side, because he's the future, no doubt.
Yeah, I mean, at this moment in time, with Ashley Young's recent performances, he's straight in there. It's up to Luke now to put that pressure on. Now we've seen a bit of him, and he's certainly given a good performance tonight.
Well, it's up to Luke, Mandy, to follow in the footsteps of Ashley Young. Let's remember, not so long ago, Ashley looked as if he was heading out the door. Didn't look a place for him. Then got that opportunity in that left wing back position. Never really looked back since then, as Gordon touched on. Man of the match at Watford. He scored a couple of goals in one game, scored a goal in another game. And that's what you've got to do if you're not in contention and you want to stay at Manchester United. It's as simple and as plain as that. And the problem is, so many of the younger players nowadays don't realise that, they don't understand it. But if he knuckles down and shows everybody again like what he did tonight in games coming up in the future, he'll be at Manchester United. If not, he'll be gone.
Let's take an email as promised. Ted has emailed in to say, great for Shaw and Lukaku, 2 players that needed a boost. Advantage of topping the group. The second leg at home, we can take anyone. In the lad's opinion, what's the best way to approach the City game? I think similar to the Arsenal match. We will win 2-1. Ted feeling confident. Gordon, should we approach it the same way as we did at the Emirates?
Well, we never played that great at the Emirates. I mean, a lot of Arsenal fans, as we've touched on earlier, left that ground quite happy with the way their team played. Because
started well, though.
Yeah,
we started well.
We scored great. We were just great in the counter-attack because we've got so much pace and we're so dangerous going forward. Although I didn't think we were so dangerous tonight. We were in the first 20 minutes with Rashford, but I thought Lukaku was really poor tonight. Really poor. I know he scored the goal that got us back in the game, but even at that, you know, he was very average, I thought. But it's a confidence booster for him getting into the game on the weekend. No, I'd like to play better than we did at Arsenal. But that's the way to go about it.
Need to win, Mandy. I don't think with home advantage getting a draw, don't really think it's going to do us any good. Need to close that gap a little bit. Started great at Arsenal, like to see that again. Well, everything that happened at Arsenal, I'd like to see happen again. Where we started, final score, take the 3 points.
Maybe David De Gea having to make slightly less number of saves.
Well, he was busy at Arsenal because that was always on the cards. Because even as well as we played in the first 20-25 minutes, we conceded a lot of ground and they had lots of chances. And I thought the ball was in our box too many times. But I'll settle for everything that happened at Arsenal. I'll settle for Sunday.
I think that's the thing. It doesn't really matter how we approach the game, or as long as we get a result.
It's the results that be all and end all on Sunday. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And I think we need a win as well to close the gap, because at this moment in time, it looks as though it's City's. I hate to say it, but it looks as though it's City's league.
Yeah.
We're not a team, though, Mandy, to sit back. It's not in the nature of the club. I don't think the players can do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with if you get in front like we did at Arsenal, then being a bit more cautious. And I think that's what Josie's been about ever since he's been in this country. But as a result of that, where he gets in front and he organises the team to make sure they get the most important thing, which is 3 points, everyone, or press lads in particular, have been quite critical of him. He's not a defensive-minded manager. He's defensive-minded if he gets in front. And his only aim, once he gets in front, is to make sure that the team gets the 3 points. And I think that's where this criticism of being defensive-minded, I heard somebody talking about being boring. And now that's the one thing we haven't been. We've scored 4 goals in first 5 or 6 games on a number of occasions. Other games we've scored plenty of goals. We've a few clean sheets as well. And we go away from home to Arsenal on Saturday and we beat them and we score a number of goals there as well. So the criticism of being boring is just one of these things I think that's sort of caught on because of the manager. It certainly doesn't apply to the team.
I think the thing is as well, you talk about counter-attacking. We know that City are going to come and attack because it's not in their nature to sit back either.
No, because their strength is going forward. Their best players are their attacking players. They're not great defensively, but their best players are certainly their attacking players. You know, when you look at people like Silva, Aguero and Mane and players like Sterling, players like that, they're really good players. You know, so we've got to go and have a go at them.
Yeah. And hopefully,
their weaknesses.
Hopefully they'll leave us space to do that. An email here from Ricky from Dublin who says Mata has played his way into the team for Sunday. Let's take it to City now. Were you impressed by Mata tonight?
No, I wasn't. I thought maybe the last 10-15 minutes when the game was more or less a dead rubber right for the start, to tell you the truth. But I thought he never started playing until the last 10-15 minutes of the game when the game was over anyway, and that's for me is not good enough.
I don't think anybody tonight, man, who's played their way into the team or their way out of the team. I think Josie would have his Sunday team in mind.
No, he only looks at the next game.
Sorry.
I think you don't believe him, do you?
No. He had his Sunday's team in mind long before we kicked off tonight, barring injuries and one or two other things. He'd have his team. No, he'd have his team. That's probably why he said what he said. Because it's the opposite.
Well,
I've got my team ready. That's right.
They were straight down to the bath and probably way home by now. I don't know about Herrera right enough.
Yeah, well, Ricky, there you go.
Engine, maybe.
These guys think that the manager might have picked his team already, but we'll see. Get your calls coming in to us tonight here in the studio. Let's now get some reaction and hear from Victor Lindelof.
Victor, well done. A really good win. Was that a harder game than you thought it would be?
We knew he was going to play against a very strong team. So, but it felt good out there. I think we controlled the game good, and we had a good possession of the ball, and we moved the ball around very well. And I think they scored quite a strange goal, but otherwise, I think we had the total control of the game.
Did you show great character to come from one down at half-time to bounce back to win?
Yeah, we did. We did that against. I think we've done it a couple of times this year, and against Newcastle as well. You know, we conceded a goal and then we came back and scored a lot of goals. So I think we showed one more time, you know, how much strength we have in this team.
It's good to go through as group winners.
Yeah, of course, it's always very good for us to finish first in the group, and we're very happy for that.
Personally, fans are delighted with the way you're playing at the moment. There was a massive tackle here at Old Trafford against Brighton, a thumping challenge. The fans loved that. Was that a moment for you when you thought, this is Premier League football, I've arrived?
I don't know. I got a few questions about that tackle. You know, it was a good tackle and it felt good, and I'm just happy I can help the team and make the fans happy. That's always my main goal.
Fans absolutely loved it. We hope there's more of the same. But you seem to be really comfortable at the moment and happy in your position and the way things are going.
Yeah, well, I've always been happy, you know. But right now I'm also happy, you know. I can help the team on the pitch and play games, and I got a good rhythm in the body and everything. So yeah, it feels good.
Next up, a chance to play in your first Manchester derby. How excited are you for that?
Well, I'm very excited, of course, if I get the chance to play, but right now I'm just happy for the win and that we finish first in the group, and then tomorrow we can start looking forward to that game.
Just finally, you've played in big derbies in Portugal. Benfica have some massive games, but this is one that will be watched worldwide, so you know the importance of it.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it if I get the opportunity to play, and it's gonna be a great match, obviously, and then playing here as well, you know, in front of our fans. It's gonna be a massive game that we're all looking forward to.
We hope you play and wish you all the best. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Well, that was Mark Sullivan, believe it or not, interviewing Victor Lindelof today. We've had a tweet from Maliki who says, "Could you lot not have rotated Sully tonight? We need him for the City game." I said earlier, Lou, that he was doing a really bad impression of Gordon.
Well, we're both doing bad impressions of Sean Dyche.
Or were you doing an impression of Sully? Not quite sure which way round it goes.
Sean Dyche and Sully was doing me.
Sully was doing you, you were doing Sean Dyche. And who does Sean Dyche do? You're Sully.
I don't know.
Well, yes, perhaps we should have rotated him tonight. He's doing very well, though, holding it together, that's for sure. Victor Lindelof, great for him to get another game under his belt as well.
Well, another part of this great record we've got at Old Trafford. I mean, Jose was saying at the start of the show that he didn't feel there's a fear factor at Old Trafford. I do believe there is now. I think teams are coming here expecting to get beat. This mob tonight certainly expected to get beat, and they get easily beat. I mean, I know they were winning 1-0 and Romero had to make a great safety stop if they go in 2-2, which I said would have been a travesty, but we should have won by 6 tonight.
Yeah.
So.
It's interesting actually, Gordon bringing that up. I don't know if you heard the manager pre-match. He was basically saying that he doesn't think the fear factor is back at Old Trafford, and yet we've got this incredible record. Do you think it's back or coming back?
I think we'll find out, Mandy, in the remainder of the season, starting on Sunday, and certainly in the Champions League now, whoever we get drawn against, and there's some teams that we would want to avoid, and if we do get drawn against Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, probably in particular, that'll give us a good indication whether there is a fear factor. And if they come here and roll us over, no problem, then the answer would be no. But certainly we're looking a lot more difficult to beat at Old Trafford. We banged in 4 goals time and time again this season, and that's something in the last 2 seasons we didn't really do.
How many times have we sat here after watching Louis van Gaal's teams and just thinking, oh my goodness, no, not again. It's been terrible.
Yeah.
It's a lot better now.
Indeed. Okay, time for us to take a break. After that, we'll be hearing more from you guys at home. Welcome back. Let's hear more from the manager now with Mark Sullivan.
Just say congratulations. What pleased you most about the victory tonight?
With the victory, with the quality of the performance, with the attitude of the players. Because we knew before the game that we were qualified. And only because they love to play, they are proud. They have pride to play, and they don't want to lose. They want to finish well. They want to keep that good record at home with the Champions League matches. So I'm happy with everything, the attitude and the quality of the performance, and obviously with the 3 points.
Really good come from behind victory. Again, controversial goal just for half time, but the side showed so much character to come back.
I was not worried at half time. I was disappointed with the result, but not worried. The team was playing really well, was controlling the game. It was just a question to keep doing it in the second half, and goals would arrive. So I was not worried at all. And the players, they gave me reason, because in the second half the performance was strong, and until we scored the 2 goals, was like non-stop to create and non-stop to try.
The perfect game in preparation for the derby. You were able to rotate the team a bit, so you're all fired up now and ready for the big one this weekend.
You know, tomorrow is day off, and day off I don't think football. Only Thursday I start thinking about it.
Cheers to you, Thanks.
So still not thinking about the derby.
Everybody else says.
Day off tomorrow, and he'll start thinking about it on Thursday, but we are all thinking about it right now, aren't we?
Sure.
We just have we've been having a look at the teams that could finish, or that we could face in the draw on Monday, I should say. It's going to be quite interesting to see just how it works out. The only 2 that have been confirmed so far, Bayern and Juventus, and those 2 are bad enough, aren't they?
Those 2 are bad enough, yeah. It may be the one time we didn't want to finish top, but we'll wait to see on Monday. There's lots of dangers there, Mandy.
Yeah, there certainly are. Other potentials: Seville, Shakhtar, Porto, Real Madrid. We shall see. Another email. Steve says, I thought Juan Mata was outstanding tonight. His awareness of his teammates' movements incredible. To pick out the loop pass for Marcus Rashford, having had to control a tough ball on his chest, shows how intelligent he is on the pitch. I think Lingard should keep his place for the derby, but Mata will certainly have given the manager a decision to make. So who do you guys think will start on Sunday in the number 10 position?
I think Lingard's a certainty to start in front of Mata. I know it was a great bit of control and a great ball for Rashford's goal tonight. It was brilliant play by Mata, but there wasn't enough of that for me. I don't think he did enough tonight to warrant a place in the game on Sunday. And I'd play Lingard. I mean, look at Lingard's form of late, it's been terrific.
Do you not think, though, Gordon, it wouldn't have mattered what he did tonight? Jose's got his team in his head for Sunday, so whether Mata played well or not tonight.
You'll not be sure about injuries, will it? Is Herrera going to be involved on Sunday?
He was taken off and went straight down the tunnel.
Yeah, and get sent straight down the tunnel with Mourinho.
I think it's very difficult, though, to leave Lingard out the way he's played in the last couple of games, because he's been here, there and everywhere. He's been involved in scoring goals.
I know, but what if Pogba's out, Matic is out and Fellaini's out? Herrera will play them, won't he?
Yeah, he would play them.
I don't think they've trained.
I think Lingard will play. I think he's done enough in the last couple of games to force his way into the manager's thoughts that he can be, which he has been, a match winner. Yeah.
And let's hope he does it again on Sunday, eh? Time now to get more reaction from the dressing room. Let's hear from Juan Mata.
Juan, congratulations. A hard-fought game, that one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, it's Champions League, so it's always difficult. They have good players, you know, especially in midfield. They have quality. They scored a bit of controversial goal, but I think we fought back. We showed that we always want to win. We qualified winning the last game as a first top of the group. So we did our job, and now it's time to rest and think about the weekend.
Yeah, 15 points from 6 games is a terrific return in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's very good. You know, it's surprising that we were not qualified before after winning the first games. The Champions League is like this, and you need to fight until the end. So we did today. We needed to win. We knew as well that winning today, we had a record of winning games in a row in Old Trafford. So we wanted to get the victory. We did. So we go happy to our house.
Some terrific teams in the knockout stages already. No matter whether you finish first or second, you could come up against some really big teams. So it's a competition full of quality this season.
Yeah, it is. I mean, all big teams, I think they're going to qualify, and you know, now we did our job, which is be top of the group, and now we have to wait and see, and you know, probably we get a big team, but if you want to go forward in the Champions League, you have to beat everyone. Now we have more Premier League games from now on until the next Champions League game, so our main now is focus on the league and focus on Christmas, because it's a crucial period.
Including that next game, the big one, Manchester Derby. You know what it's like to score a winning goal in a Manchester Derby. It's such a terrific match.
Yeah, it's always special, you know, and even more when we are playing first against second, and we can take some points from them, and you know, we can get closer in the table. And you know, now it's time to rest from this game. It was a tough game, but from Thursday we will think about City and about how we're going to play and how we're going to try to win.
Good luck for that. Thanks, Juan.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
See, Juan's thinking about City already. How hard do you think it is, Lou? I mean, I was speaking to Gordon about it before tonight's game, but how hard now is everything in your mind just focused on a derby, especially when it means as much as this one could on Sunday?
Unfortunately, you're a game to play tonight, and as much as you try to build it up, Mandy, everyone's well aware the only disaster can be 7-0, and you know it's not going to happen. So you go out there relaxed. As a matter of fact, the one or two little incidents in the game I thought was typical of a team that was relaxed. Lukaku once lost the ball and just sort of sauntered after it, whereas had the game really meant something like Sunday, he'll be after that ball in a flash. He'll be desperate to get close to a City player, get a tackle in, a push or a shove, anything whatsoever. And tonight it was just a little bit different. It was strange being here tonight, because the whole crowd knew that.
That's peculiar. You must be peculiar sitting in the dressing room.
Yeah.
What are we supposed to do before the game? What are we supposed to do tonight? You know, just not get beat 7-0.
Yeah, well, they've done the job, that's for sure. But the players that are off, if they're out and about anywhere near Manchester city centre or anywhere on the outskirts tomorrow, everyone will remind them that there's a game on Sunday, won't they?
They'll be reminding them before the game tonight. As I said,
yeah, it's going to be interesting. Barry from Hull says, well done to Lukaku and Rashford for scoring tonight, and bring on Man City on Sunday afternoon. Great game, a win is a win. And Ian says, looking good United with fast attacking play, all the players with confidence. A great start for Sean, another sound game by Lindelof, Rashford and Lukaku. Loads of chances created, bring on City. Is that the one thing that's pleased you, Lou, in the last few games, is the fast attacking play that we've seen from United?
Oh, Saturday, Monday at Arsenal. I mean, I was there and we started the game. You're apprehensive. You know you need to win the game to stay in contention. And poof, they come out the traps quickly. Played some great football. The bonus was getting a couple of goals. And then you knew Arsenal had to come into the game, because at home I think they were 12 or 14 unbeaten. And when they did come into the game, they had one or two chances. Goalkeeper was brilliant. It was like watching a man, just a man possessed. He was not going to get beaten. Eventually he did get beaten, but you know, you're looking at him thinking he's going to win us this game. And even though we got in front, he actually won us the game to Arsenal.
Enough for Ron Atkinson to say he's the best ever to have played for United on Saturday.
Oh, well, that is
high praise indeed.
That's a real compliment, because when Schmeichel came along, then Edwin, you thought there won't be a keeper that's as good as those two. But I think Ron's, not going to say he's right. I wouldn't want to say, I know what Ron's like. He gets a bit carried away with himself when you tell him he's right. But he's close to being right, because it's a good debate, isn't it?
Yeah.
The best of those three. hard to make up your mind.
Yeah, we were saying earlier, Gordon, that he's got age on his side as well, you know, to catch up to those guys that played into their 40s.
It's very, very difficult to pick one of the three. Maybe De Gea, because his age, and maybe just edges it. I don't know, it's a very difficult one. I wouldn't like to say either. I'll just sit on the fence in that one.
Yeah, Big Ron put his neck on the line for that one on Saturday, and I think it was quite a big statement, but that performance was just unbelievable. If he can play anything like that here on Sunday,
that's all we can hold on
got
to
a chance.
Well, if he plays like that on Sunday, we win. We don't lose the game actually start with, which is for me not good enough because we need to get 3 points. But it's a good start having a goalkeeper that can possibly keep the clean sheet. He was, I think that was the best I've seen him play at Arsenal. The shots were coming in fast and furious. They were coming in at one stage from all angles, rebounds going back to an Arsenal player. Everything.
Double saves.
Yeah, brilliant he was.
No, he was absolutely superb. He'll give us a chance on Sunday, won't he, Gordon?
Oh yeah, well yeah, if he plays like that, he will. But as Lewis says, you want to win the game, you want to make ground on City, not just keep pace with them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be an interesting game, I tell you. It's only Tuesday. We've got an awful long time to wait. If we're building up to this one already. You can see why the manager kind of wants to play things down and perhaps get the players trying to focus on something else. I'm not sure that's going to work though. It's time for us to take a quick break. After that, we'll be bringing you a lot more reaction here from Old Trafford to tonight's victory over CSKA. Join us again in a couple of minutes for Matchday Review. Plenty of talking points at Old Trafford this evening ahead of the Manchester derby at the weekend, but the big bonus for us is we're through top spot in the group. Lou Macari and Gordon McQueen here in the studio with me. And Gordon, job done for Manchester United tonight?
Job done in an important way. Well, Lukaku getting the goal that he needed because he's not scored many of late, and getting into obviously the derby at the weekend and getting the win and finishing top of the group. And well, we'll see who we get in the draw on Monday, won't we?
Yeah, indeed, it could be an interesting one, but it's important to top the group, Lou, because in theory you give yourself the best chance.
Supposed to be. We've already talked about a couple of teams that we can be drawn against on Monday, and the tough teams. Only shock tonight was we went behind up until they scored. I mean, they didn't look as if they were capable of scoring the goal. Certainly didn't look capable of beating us. And even when they went in front, Mandy, I couldn't see that team from Russia holding on. So we got the win. We are top of the group. Roll on Monday for the draw.
Indeed, and let's just confirm the group for you and see how Group A finished. As we said, United top of the group on 15 points. At Basel, will they take second spot with 12? CSKA Moscow on 9, and Benfica, I think they're the real surprise of the group, getting no points. Just to confirm the result in the other game, Basel beat Benfica 2-0 at the Stadium of Light. So it's an interesting situation for Manchester United, and we said, Gordon, that you just don't know how it's going to play out in the draw.
Well, especially Benfica. I mean, going to the Stadium of Light, I mean, I played there myself, it was always an unbelievably difficult place to go, and you didn't expect to get much from them. For them to end up like that at the bottom of the league is unbelievable. And that CSKA Moscow side to get 9 points, I mean, as Lou said, they looked absolutely hopeless, I thought, tonight. Hopeless.
Lou's giggling away there in the corner.
No, I think Benfica's the big shock, Mandy. When the draw was made, if anybody actually thought that Benfica would end up with no points, then no one would even considered it. But they have done, because they've got a poor team compared to Benfica sides of years ago.
Yeah. Okay, let's hear from the manager now, speaking in his press conference.
Okay, I'm just here to take your questions on the game. If you'd like to put your hand up, please go with your hand in.
Jose, how pleased are you to have got the job done, top of the group, especially after that rather bizarre goal?
No, I'm really happy, because we don't want to qualify with a defeat. We don't want to qualify with a bad performance. So the objective was to qualify playing well and trying to get at least a positive result. And I think we did that very, very well. The performance was good, the attitude was good. We show clearly at half time that we don't want to lose a match. I think good individual performances, good collective performance with some moments quite brilliant, and 15 points in a season of returning to the Champions League. I think is good.
Жозе, как вы довольны результатами игры в целом? Да, я очень счастлив. Мы не хотели проходить эту группу через поражение. Цель была проходить в дальнейшие стадии турнира только через победу. Мы показали хороший результат, были хорошие индивидуальные выступления. После первого тайма мы также явно показали, что мы не собираемся проигрывать. И добиться 15 очков в группе, я считаю, хороший результат.
Jose, I know you've said that you were happy with Romelu anyway when he wasn't scoring, but important for him to get his goal and a little bit of a confidence boost ahead of the weekend.
Yeah, but I'm always happy with Romelu because the way he plays for the team is absolutely amazing. If he can score his goal and then feel that happiness that the strikers they only feel when they score goals, then great. But his contribution for the team is amazing. He's always involved in goals, in actions, in assists, in the transition work after the team loses the possession of the ball. I'm always happy with Romelu, and of course today to score a goal in the Champions League makes me feel happy for him, not for me, for him.
Вопрос касательно формы Ромео Лукаку. Да, я всегда доволен его формой, он замечательно сегодня показал себя на поле, его вклад в команду неоценим. Он хорошо принимает участие как в атаках, так и в защите. Также он принимает участие и во всех голах, не имеет значения, он забивает или отдает голевые передачи. Я очень доволен им.
Hello, Jose. Congrats for the winning for the first position of the group. There are really hard teams in the second position for the next draw, like, for example, Real Madrid, Bayern Munich. Do you want to avoid that kind of hard team like Real for the next round, or for you is the same?
I'm not the luckiest guy with draws, so it's better I shut up and I forget it because we only play in February and until then I have to concentrate on the English competitions. But I think it doesn't matter the team that we get in the draw. I think that team will not be jumping of happiness to play against us. I don't think so.
Уже в следующих этапах команды, которые выходят со второго места, могут быть достаточно сложными соперниками. Хотели бы вы избежать таких сложных соперников? Да, я, наверное, не самый удачливый парень в жеребьевках, но мне сейчас стоит лучше помолчать и подождать самой жеребьевки. Лучше подождать до февраля и посмотреть и сосредоточиться на английской премьер-лиге. Не имеет значения, на кого мы попадем, для той команды тоже будет сложный матч.
What did you make of Luke's comeback? It looked like he had quite an encouraging game.
Very, very positive performance, especially with the ball going forwards, really dangerous, creating a lot, great intensity in his game. No surprise that minute 80 is feeling the consequences of that intensity is normal. First match of the season for him. But he was deserving that opportunity for quite a long time, and he's going to get more because the performance was really positive.
Как вы оцениваете возвращение Ликуша в состав? Да, я очень доволен его выступлением сегодня, очень позитивно оцениваю его. Он очень интенсивно проявил себя сегодня и показал хорошую игру. И мы видели, что даже после 80 минут он интенсивно выступал и принимал участие в атаках. Он замечательно показал себя на поле сегодня.
Прошлый матч, первый матч с ЦСКА дался МЮ гораздо легче, и победа в нем получилась гораздо более крупной. Можно ли говорить о том, что сегодня ЦСКА сыграл лучше, чем в Москве, и понравился ли ему кто-то индивидуально из футболистов московского клуба?
The first game against CSKA Moscow was much easier for you. That's why you achieved such a huge result back in Moscow. Would you say this game was easier? And if to talk about the players, who would you point out from this game, from the Russian team?
I don't point players. If I do that, tomorrow you write that I want to buy the players, so I'm not going to do that. I just say that the team is good, the team is a mixture of some of the experienced players that I know since 2005 and they are still in the team, but a mixture with some young talents coming now in the Russian football. So give Victor time to make that transition, give Victor time to let these young talents grow up, because the team is really interesting. I think to go to Europa League probably is good for them, because in Europa League the level will drop and we'll have the chance to develop their game and their young players. So good luck for them.
Я не хочу выделять отдельных игроков, потому что завтра вы напишете о том, что я их куплю. В составе очень много хороших игроков. Также стоит выделить и молодых игроков. Хочу также сказать, что в составе искоренены игроки еще с 2005 года. Это говорит о многом. Я считаю, что нужно дать Виктору время, чтобы он работал, чтобы он совершенствовался, чтобы он выводил команду на высокий уровень. И тот факт, что он выходит дальше в Лигу Европы, дает ему отличную возможность работать над этим.
Jose, that's 40 games unbeaten here at Old Trafford now, which matches a club record which is 51 years old. How proud are you of that, and what would it mean if you can go on and break it?
I'm not proud because we had some bad results at home. We drew matches that are not good results. I'm not playing for records. I don't want to stay in the books of the history of this club because of records. I want to stay there because we won the Europa League and it was the first time. I want to stay there because we do more important things than that. But it's nice.
Касательно того, что Юнайтед уже 40 игр играет без поражения на Олд Траффорде. Горды ли вы этим рекордом, Жозе? Нет, я не горд. Мы очень часто играем в ничью. Я не хочу оставаться в книгах истории этого клуба из-за того, что мы не проигрываем дома. Я хочу оставаться в книгах истории из-за того, что мы завоевываем кубки, из-за того, что мы выиграли Лигу Европы в предыдущем сезоне и дальше будем завоевывать трофеи.
Okay, last question.
Jose, do you any of your injured players like Marwan and Jones and Barry have a chance for the weekend?
Do you want the true or what do you want?
Yeah, I don't want the other manager version, I like the true.
You want the true? The true is Eric Bailly, no chance for the weekend. Phil Jones, a chance. Fellaini, a chance. Zlatan, a big chance. And Matic is injured but will play for sure. I'm telling the truth. He is injured, but he will play for sure. Carrick? No chance.
Okay.
It's the truth, eh? No stories of Lacazette, David Silva, all the truth.
No mind games before the derby. I think that's what the manager's trying to say there. So just to reiterate that team news, Bailly and Carrick, no chance of playing. Jones, Fellaini, both have a chance. Zlatan has a big chance, and Matic is injured but will play for sure. And we wondered whether he would make it.
Well, if Matic plays, that'll be Matic, Herrera and Lingard, you think, in the middle of the park. And, well, you think you might change Lindelof. I don't. I think I'll keep the back three the same. And the wing backs Ashley and will come back in for Luke Shaw. And I don't think there'll be many changes.
Yeah. Do you agree, Lou? Not so many changes?
Would you say that Luke Shaw, Gordon?
I don't think Luke Shaw will play. I think Ashley will come in.
He's not going to play because
you were thinking Lindelof might.
I think he might miss out.
It's the same team as Arsenal, possibly.
Yeah. And the same team as Arsenal.
Okay, there we have it. Early team news for you. Time for us to take a break. Plenty more reaction coming up in a couple of minutes. Welcome back. Well, let's get some reaction from the dressing room now and hear from Juan Mata.
Brian, congratulations. A hard-fought game, that one.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know, it's Champions League, so it's always difficult. They had good players, you know, especially in midfield, they have quality. They scored a bit of controversial goal, but I think we fought back. We showed that we always want to win. We qualified winning the last game as a first top of the group. So we did our job, and now it's time to rest and think about the weekend.
Yeah, 15 points from your 6 games is a terrific return in the Champions League.
Yeah, it's very good. You know, it's surprising that we were not qualified before, after winning the first games. The Champions League is like this, and you need to fight until the end. So we did today. We needed to win. We knew as well that winning today, we had a record of winning games in a row in Old Trafford. So we wanted to get the victory. We did. So we go happy to our house.
Some terrific teams in the knockout stages already. No matter whether you finish first or second, you could come up against some really big teams. So it's a competition full of quality this season.
Yeah, it is. I mean, all big teams, I think they're going to qualify, and you know, now we did our job, which is be top of the group, and now we have to wait and see, and you know, probably we get a big team, but if you want to go forward in the Champions League, you have to beat everyone. Now we have more Premier League games from now on until the next Champions League game, so our main now is focus on the league and focus on Christmas, because it's a crucial period.
Including that next game, the big one, Manchester Derby. You know what it's like to score a winning goal in a Manchester Derby. It's such a terrific match.
Yeah, it's always special, you know, and even more when we are playing first against second, and we can take some points from them, and you know, we can get closer in the table. And you know, now it's time to rest from this game. It was a tough game, but from Thursday we will think about City and about how we're going to play and how we're going to try to win.
Good luck for that. Thanks, Juan.
Thanks.
Cheers, mate.
Oh, the thoughts of Juan Mata there. And let's get some reaction from outside Old Trafford now with Sophie.
Thanks, Mandy. Now I've got Adam from Belfast here. We did it, Group A winners. What do you think of the overall performance from United?
I mean, job done. They didn't have to try too much, but you know, got the job done in the end, didn't they? That's the main thing.
And Luke Shaw back?
Yeah, picked up a little bit of crump, but you know, to be expected. I think he did well. Yeah.
What was your thoughts? Because obviously the goal at first, everyone was saying from Moscow, they thought was offside, and obviously it's a new rule and it's not. What did you think when you were watching it?
Well, the guys behind us were all shouting, offside, but I don't know. He was completely off the pitch, so I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? So.
And what about standout performances?
Marcus Rashford was pretty good.
Yeah.
Got the goal. I was glad to see Lukaku get a goal as well, you know, so.
But the drought's over now as well for the pair of them.
I mean, say drought, but he was still doing okay when he wasn't scoring as well, which is the main thing, so.
And ahead, obviously, we've got Derby on Sunday.
Big game.
Yeah, what's your thoughts on that coming up?
It'll be tough, but I reckon we can do it. Confidence after the Arsenal game, so.
Any changes that you'd like to see of the team for that game?
It doesn't really matter about personnel, just the attitude, as long as the work rate's there, and I'd like to see them maybe attack them rather than sit back, maybe, just as long as we go at them a bit.
And going back to obviously the game this evening, did you think the scoreline reflected the performance? Was that what you expected?
Yeah, I expected them to win. I didn't expect
that first goal.
Yeah, well, that as well. Yeah, it was pretty easy, I guess, altogether, but yeah, so.
Right, well, enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you very much for having a chat with us. Back to you, Mandy, in the studio.
Thanks very much, Sophie. The fans will certainly be gearing up for the weekend, I would think. The manager trying to play things down and say we're not going to think about it at the moment, but all the fans will certainly be thinking about it.
No chance, because everybody's revved up for this one on Sunday, because they realise, like we do, what a big game it is. It's a huge, huge game, because I'll tell you what, if City beat us on Sunday, that's the league over, in my opinion.
We shall find out Lou Macari's opinion in a moment, after we've heard the thoughts of Lindelof.
Victor, well done, a really good win. Was that a harder game than you thought it would be?
Well, we knew he was going to play against a very strong team. So, but it felt good out there. I think we controlled the game good, and we had a good possession of the ball, and we moved the ball around very well. And I think they scored quite a strange goal, but otherwise, I think we had the total control of the game.
Did you show great character to come from one down at half-time to bounce back to win?
Yeah, we did. We did that against. Well, I think we've done it a couple of times this year, and against Newcastle as well. You know, we conceded a goal, and then we came back and scored a lot of goals. So I think we showed one more time. You know, how much strength we have in this team.
It's good to go through as group winners.
Yeah, of course, it's always very good for us to finish first in the group, and we're very happy for that.
Personally, fans are delighted with the way you're playing at the moment. There was a massive tackle here at Old Trafford against Brighton, a thumping challenge. The fans loved that. Was that a moment for you when you thought, this is Premier League football, I've arrived?
I don't know. I got a few questions about that tackle. You know, it was a good tackle and it felt good, and I'm just happy I can help the team and make the fans happy. That's always my main goal.
Fans absolutely loved it. We hope there's more of the same. But you seem to be really comfortable at the moment and happy in your position and the way things are going.
Yeah, well, I've always been happy, you know. But right now I'm also happy. You know, I can help the team on the pitch and play games, and I got a good rhythm in the body and everything. So yeah, it feels good.
Next up, a chance to play in your first Manchester derby. How excited are you for that?
Well, I'm very excited, of course, if I get the chance to play, but right now I'm just happy for the win and that we finish first in the group, and then tomorrow we can start looking forward to that game.
Just finally played in big derbies in Portugal. Benfica have some massive games, but this is one that will be watched worldwide, so you know the importance of it.
Yeah, like I said, it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it if I get the opportunity to play, and it's gonna be a great match, obviously. And then playing here as well, you know, in front of our fans, it's gonna be a massive game that we're all looking forward to.
I hope you play and wish you all the best. Thank you
so much. Thank you.
Now, Victor, desperate to be involved on Sunday, and you guys, I'm sure, in the studio would be desperate to be involved if you could get your boots out again. Lou, Gordon said he thinks it's game over in terms of the league if we don't win. Is it? I mean, it's just still so early. It's December.
But 11 points behind, if it was Mandy, a team that's in good form. Are they going to slip up 4 times to allow you to get back near them? And you've then got to stay unbeaten yourself. It'll make it difficult. Nothing's impossible. Obviously, the wheels could come off, but I prefer to get into the game and win the game and give ourselves a real fighting chance of a 5-point gap. That 11 points is going to be. 11 points would be tough.
They've had to score late goals in, I think, their last 4 games to get
well,
their.
That shows the good spirit that I've got, because I used to say that about Sir Alex here and Fergie time and all that. But you know, I think 9 points has been caught before, but not 11. 11 you're just not going to catch, I don't think. As Louis said, 4 games, it's a lot, you know. 9 points is just a bit doable, but not 11.
Well, let's hope we narrow the gap on Sunday. Thanks to you both for joining me. That's it from Matchday Review this evening. Thanks to you at home for watching on a night when Manchester United made it 40 home games unbeaten. Here's to 41 on Sunday. Good night.